students, and welcome to another unit on software evaluation. In the previous unit, we were introduced to the fact that early forms of software evaluation checklists focused heavily on technical aspects of the software evaluation, and then slowly over time moved towards educational aspects of software design. However, when we talk about technical aspects, what does that mean? In this unit, we will examine a software evaluation checklist developed in the 1990s, a decade after the first sight of educational software checklists. Please note the heavy technical aspects despite the evidence and research that came out by Dudley in the 1980s that focusing on technical aspects was not educationally sound approach. Despite this, it can be seen that educational specialists of the time were still new to technology, and thus producing all the bells and whistles of the technology became the focus, unfortunately. However, we must remember that this is a learning curve, was a process for the educational specialists, and the evolution of all things start from primitive and simple to advanced and sophisticated. Analysis questions. As we begin this unit, I would like in your tutorial group and in WebKF for you and your group members to think about the following questions. 1. What do you think were the main criteria of early educational software checklists? Think in more details than you have been doing previously. And 2, under those criteria you have identified, what do you think would be some important subtopics? Early refocus to educational goals from technical ones. According to Comer and Gessler, 1998, evaluators of software for education must make a series of decisions about which issues have a direct impact on their choices of software. This means that in their view, instructional context analysis is the first step, which includes technical needs and limitations. The next step, they argue, is instructional goal analysis. What this means is that the evaluator needs to consider the various taxonomies of software and learning theory when evaluating the merit of educational software. Early educational software checklist. Comer and Gessler's 1998 checklist criteria included 1. Content including quality, depth, and tests. 2. Interface including ease of use, navigation, text quality, graphics, and sound. 3. Interactivity including feedback, sequence, and questions. 4. Classroom-related issues including entry-level technical requirements, motivation, backwash, and management. And 5. Support including online and offline help. The following 4 slides will provide examples in the checklist of each of this criteria. Proposed Software Evaluation Checklist Part 1 by Comer and Gessler, 1998. In terms of the criteria content, Comer and Gessler proposed the subtopics quality, depth, and tests. An example of the quality features include A. Appropriate vocabulary and subject matter for target audience. B. Well-written and grammatically correct text. C. Variety of explanations and examples. An example of depth features include numerous and just-in-time explanations, examples, and illustrations. B. Presents correct examples, non-examples, and mistakes most commonly made by learners. And C. Situated examples within a context. Finally, an example of test features include A. Entered answers are selected alternatives should be able to be deleted, and B. Changes to the environment through menu options. These are all learner characteristics. Proposed Software Evaluation Checklist Part 2 by Comer and Gessler, 1998. In terms of the criteria interface, Comer and Gessler, 1998, proposed the following subtopics: ease of use, navigation, text quality, graphics, and sound. As you can see that all these aspects focus on technical aspects of the software. Examples of these features include A. Entered answers or selected alternatives should be able to be deleted, changes to the environment through menu options, symbols and icons should be obvious or, if tried once, easy to remember, graphics clarify or enhance the points made, familiar objects should be included in illustrations, and illustrations are clearly labeled and as close as possible to the text to which they refer. There are more. I selected only a few from the Learner column. Proposed Software Evaluation Checklist Part 3, Comer and Gessler, 1998. In terms of the criteria interactivity, Comer and Gessler, 1998, proposed the following subtopics: feedback, sequence, and questions. Examples of this criteria include A. Helpful messages to aid in the correction of errors. B. Types of feedback: immediate, delayed, and summative. C. Hyperlinks open in that there is no predetermined sequences. And D. Avoids putting learners in infinite loops or sending them to dead ends. Again, these characteristics are all from the Learner column and focus heavily on the technical aspects of the software. Proposed Software Evaluation Checklist Part 4, Comer and Gessler, 1998. In terms of the criteria classroom-related issues, Comer and Gessler, 1998, proposed the following subtopics: 1. Including entry-level technical requirements. 2. Motivation. 3. Backwash. And 4. Management. Examples of this criteria include A. Entry-level skills and knowledge, keyboarding, mouse, navigation. B. Amount of basic or remedial training required. C. Level of computer literacy skills. D. Motivating and challenging as a whole. And D. Novelty versus lasting effect. Again, these characteristics are taken from the Learner column to show what was the focus for the learner at the time. Synthesis questions. As we bring this module to a closure, I would like you in your tutorial group and in WebKF to reflect on the following questions. 1. Which part of the educational software checklist is no longer applicable in today's tools? 2. Which criteria from the checklist provided are most important today and why? 3. If you had to design a software checklist like this one, what educational characteristics in the software would you be on the lookout for? Good luck!